They're the only ones that can affect what I say and what I do, ever. So again, when I hear something, growing up with a drill sergeant, you can't hurt my feelings. I asked him, I said, why did you do that? And he said, listen, it's not about you all the time. I want to be something more than Shaq. See, the Shaq guy is going to fade away. The Shaq guy will fade away at some point in time. But Dr. Shaquille O'Neal will be around forever.
The most dominant big man in the NBA, a successful businessman, Shaquille O'Neal and his 10 rules of greatness. Check him out.
And a lot of people don't know I was a football player. I love playing football. And my father comes in the house one day very upset. He has a paper and he throws it at my chest. He said, if you stop messing around, maybe you can be like this. I open up the paper, John Concac signs 15 for 3. Yeah, so we go watch the Hawks play the Spurs, and I'm watching John, and I'm like, I'm doing what he's doing now, and a little bit more. If I stop messing around and play like this, I can make $5 million a year. That's when I stopped putting, I put the football away and started focusing on basketball. My dream as a youngster was to make $8 million for 10 years. And I already had it set. I had a little house. I was gonna get a Jimmy Blazer and a Mercedes Benz and a little house. I already had it.
So you've exceeded your expectations.
Yes, I did. I really did. And then I made a name for myself, and I decided to go to LSU because when I was in Germany, I was an awful player. Coach Brown.
Awful by your standards, or awful by you didn't know the game?
I was 13. I was 6'9". I couldn't dunk. I couldn't play. I was clumsy. I confided with Coach Brown. I said, can you send me some stuff on how to get stronger? And Coach Brown said, you know what? Whether you become a basketball player or not, I want to offer you a scholarship. Right there at age 13. Not even knowing what I was going to become, he offered me a scholarship. So when I came back to San Antonio, made a name for myself, and everybody was coming at me. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to LSU. I was close to home, and Coach Brown wrote me letters every day before I became the Shaq, and that's when I decided to go to LSU.
Oh, baby! Tear down the rim!
Muhammad Ali said, you could tell a lot about a man how he treats the janitor. If a man treats a janitor like shit, he's gonna treat everybody like shit. So after that, I was like, you know what, I need to just stay cool, because all this could be taken away, especially if you make crazy decisions. So, my thing is take care of my family, lead by example for people like us, people who want to follow in our footsteps. Criticism to me is a double-edged sword. You can take it and listen to it and fade away, or you can listen to it, find some truth in it, and better yourself. One time, I want to say I was 10 years old, we were playing, we were in a championship game. So I would usually start the game off, me and my guys, then he put the guys that couldn't play, put them in, and then, we finished the game. But he flip-flopped it this time. And my father takes me out and he puts in a couple guys that couldn't play, and we lost the championship. And I got the second place trophy, and I was pretty upset. And I asked him, I said, why did you do that? And he said, listen, it's not about you all the time. These kids, they come, they practice hard, they do the same drills that you do. They wanted to play. It's not all about winning. I was like, but I was trying to win the #1 trophy. He said, you win the #1 trophy when you go to college and when you go to the NBA. Don't worry about it. And when he ended it with, don't worry about it, I had no choice but not to worry about it. Just by the grace of God, I've always been a humble people manager. So I know how to manage people. But like, if you work for me, I probably wouldn't mess with you about none of the articles that you write, because obviously you know what you're doing, because I would do a lot of due diligence to find out who you are, and everybody would say you're the best or you're higher. But I would never micromanage you. Because if I had to micromanage you, then in reality, I don't need you, I'd be doing it myself. But since I'm not doing it myself, you gotta have great partners. That's always been my secret, and it's been working. It ain't about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. How many times we've seen cats would get the bag with 100 and then they go blow it the same day, now they gotta get another 100. So he said, if you got $100, you save that, that's 50. He said, rich people will say, okay, I'm saving 50 and I'm doing that. But he said the wealthy does this. You save that. This, ball out. House, chain, car, whatever you want. But
75.
save it, yeah. That's what he said. So
from here on out,
so
I'm no longer saving 30% of my money. I'm stepping it up to 75 because I'm trying to be wealthy.
He told me that when I was 95, and I did that. And I didn't spend my first NBA check until I started having families, because I was making so much money and I wasn't that educated. So I was like, I don't want to spend it. I know that.
O'Neal runs the floor, takes it all the way. Well, that blew my theory there because the Heat came down and threw up another quick shot.
And I tell kids the same thing. Listen to your mother and father. I wasn't the smartest guy in the room, wasn't the brightest guy in the room, but I listened to my mother and father. They believed in my dream. They made me believe in my dream. And I just wanted to fight. I'm a fighter. Like, when you tell me I can't do nothing, I'm gonna just go and do it. So when I first got to LA, nobody could be as famous as Magic and Kareem. You'll never win and all that. And I'm saying, okay, you're a nobody. I'm a somebody. I ain't trying to hear all that. And you just keep fighting. So the first 4 years, me and Kobe, we got swept. We didn't give up, we just kept going. And then we won 3 in a row, I got traded. You all know the story, but again, it doesn't matter what anybody tell you, it's what you believe. My favorite quote was by General D. Eisenhower. Smartest leaders are the ones smart enough to hire people smarter than them. So I got a techie, geeky, nerdy board, and we go at it. So, I've been humble and fortunate enough to meet and see a lot of people, but it would be ludicrous for me to sit up here and act like I know everything. I don't know everything, but I do know that simplicity has always been a big winner. If you don't believe me, just think about it. Twitter. What's so big about Twitter? You just type and tell people what you do. What's so big about Facebook and Instagram? All you're doing is taking pictures. What's so big about Tout? All we do is visually saying what we're doing. So it's the simpler the better. So the people that come in with the simple things and the things that are trying to help and inspire people, that's what we're going to be looking at. But I will never sit like I know it all, like I'm an expert. I'm really big on partnerships, and I got great partners. Just added another dream, to be able to watch my sons make it to where I made it. And my son, I think, is a pretty good basketball player because I don't put pressure on him. Same thing my father did with me. Like, my father always preached basketball, but he preached education even harder. If I come home with a D, Ernie, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
I got to shine shoes, I got to mop, I got to paint, I got to cut everybody's grass in the neighborhood. Like, yeah, he didn't play that. So he always stressed education. So I always tell my kids, you don't have to play. I played, we did that. But you got to get 2 degrees. Why? I say, because I'm doing some things now that's going to, set you up. But, same thing my father taught me. You always want to be able to know what you're getting into. You want to be educated enough to run it. So I have 6 children, 3 boys and 3 girls, and like I always tell them, one of y'all going to law school, one of y'all getting into politics, one of y'all gonna run some businesses, and 2 of y'all may be in the NBA, but 3 of y'all gonna do something else. Criticism to me is a double-edged sword. You can take it and listen to it and fade away, or you can listen to it, find some truth in it, and better yourself. But I only take real criticism from my panel. Mother, father, Dale Brown, Mike Parrish, Jerome Crawford, Colin Smeaton, and Perry Rogers. That's my panel. They're the only ones can affect what I say and what I do, ever. So again, when I hear something, growing up with a drill sergeant, you can't hurt my feelings. No word can hurt my feelings. I've been in San Antonio, Baton Rouge, Germany, so there's no word you can say to hurt my feelings. So I'm programmed to go, all right, you're doing too many rap albums. You got swept three rounds in a row for the last 3 years. All right, fall back on the rap. Just fall back on that and let's see what you can do. Oh, championship, boom. Fall back on the rap again. Another championship, boom. We fall back on the rap and the movies and the commercials. All right, 3 in a row. So rather than go, oh, no, no, you listen sometimes to what the people are saying, especially if it's people you respect. When you love something and you respect it, you can always do well at it. So doing well for me is not the same definition as a rapper. Even if I go 10 times platinum, that money ain't doing nothing for me. Then I made up a quote for myself. If a nobody can influence a somebody, then the nobody wins. But the question of the day is, who are you? Nobody. When it comes to a position like that, I've seen greatness. I've helped bring greatness up. I played with Penny. I played with Kobe. I played with D-Wade. I played with Bron. I played with Nash. So I know what greatness is. So when I see somebody that has that, it's my job to push them. But again, when I say, oh, he's hating, nah, I don't have to hate, brother. Education is something that can never be taken away from you. You have to retire from basketball, you have to retire from NFL, you have to retire from being a rapper, you have to retire from being an actor. But if you don't have education while you're doing all that, you'll be one of those stories that we all know about.
Hopefully you learned something from Shaquille O'Neal's 10 Rules of Greatness. This man was so dominant to watch play basketball. Obviously now he's a successful commentator, analyst, and businessman. So hopefully you can adapt some of these rules to your life and he inspires you to become great. Please like and subscribe and check out more videos.